Hello my friends and welcome to today's tarot reading. This is a general daily reading for all signs, but the sign that you're here probably means that there is a special message for you. So thank you so much for joining me today. So today is the 1st of March 2023. It is a Wednesday, the day of the day of God. It shows when I don't get into the flow of doing things, or I'm not in the flow of doing things, it really kind of jars me. So it's the law of least effort in the 7 spiritual laws of success. I just needed a minute to gather myself and to garner myself. No major transits going on today. I am reading with the Organic Elements tarot deck, and I'll be clarifying with Yogic Path Oracle deck. Let's see what information that spirit wants to give to us. Now, day of communication, day of Wednesday is Raphael Archangel Day. And also, I just love turquoise, chrysocolla, wearing greens, wearing yellows. Those colours are really good for today. Also, agate is a really good stone to work with today because you've also got Gemini. The air signs are really kind of prevalent in working today. If you do any kind of rituals, air rituals are really good to do as well. So let's have a look at what the collective, what messages there are for the collective. I'm just a bit paranoid because this just seems a little bit there we go, yeah. This card's quite... Sorry, a bit of housekeeping there. Okay, right. So we have the Page of Wands to kick off. We have the Empress reversed. We have the 8 of Pentacles. We have the King of Cups. We have the Knight of Cups reversed. King and Knight of Cups. Okay, wow. Death reversed. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune reversed. And then we also have the 2 of Pentacles. Interesting. So someone's trying to keep the status quo here. Quite clearly. Yeah, they're trying to keep the status quo with what's going on. They're trying not to kind of rock the boat, so to speak. I don't know, but whoever these two are, these 2 male influences here, they are deeply affected by this Empress. And this Page of Wands is trying to be optimistic and keeping it together, but this Knight of Cups and this King of Cups are just a bit, they really haven't been able to get over it. What I'm seeing here, and I'll be honest with you, there is a loss of this Empress character, whether or not that this is somebody who left or whether it's something to do with an actual physical death that might have happened. I'm not saying it's going to happen. This is something that's already happened. This is in the past. But in the respect of, there has been an event, a big event concerning a maternal figure, and it has directly affected this King of Cups and also this Knight of Cups in the way that they relate to their emotions. This is something that was supposed to be confronted at some point, but it hasn't been dealt with appropriately. There's been a kind of and this Page of Wands is pretty much the only person that's really kind of doing the work that they need to in the respect of what's going on. If I'm honest with you, the situation that I'm seeing is maybe a maternal figure has passed on, and then the male figures are not able to cope with the grief, or they haven't managed the grief appropriately. And then here you've got the Page of Wands, who is the female. You've got whoever that is. It doesn't necessarily have to be female, and these don't necessarily have to be male, but the male energy here, the 2 male energies here, and also the female energy, that the female energy is the one that's kind of really learning from it. And because they're a Page of Wands, they're actually understanding the whole process. They've gone from that element of 1 to 10. They've gone through that whole journey of being, going through the journey of, from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then reaching at the Page of Wands, which is the 11, and then moving into that space where they can really be open. despite this fudgery. I'll say it. So I'll say that instead of, but I'm sure you can understand what I mean, because this is not very nice. This is a bit narky, not even, I wouldn't even go as far as actually narcissistic. It's quite sadistic. There's something here that's not right, and there's imposed stuff on here. I wouldn't even be surprised that what's going on here with this kind of delayed grieving, it may even be that it could also be this is a random thing, but it could also be with this Two of Pentacles here. We've got Pentacles, that an inheritance went to the one person, and then these people are like, what? We were supposed to get a look in here and we didn't get it, you know? And the inheritance isn't really all that, you know? It's actually something that's quite valuable, something that this Page of Wands probably is putting back into the family. You know, that's the kind of situation that I'm seeing. But with this Death reverse, something is not being allowed to transform. So that means that I feel like the grieving process or some kind of acceptance is not occurring here with these two here. And when emotion gets suppressed, or if emotion gets like if it's not allowed to come out, it gets either stagnant, which leads to like some really nasty stuff happening, or it creates pressure, which creates to which could be an explosion. So it either becomes toxic or explosive. Nice outcomes, right? So like this is what's going on here. And that Wheel of Fortune is kind of, I can feel it. It's quite stagnant. I wouldn't say, I'm not feeling pressure. I'm feeling stagnancy. So I'm feeling like these two characters are becoming quite toxic. And it's interesting because it's traits from this Empress reversed character. Really interesting. And then you've also got the Two of Pentacles here. Two of Pentacles is kind of like balancing the energies, trying to work it through, trying to be okay with it. But yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy. That Page of Wands, bless that Page of Wands. Okay, so there's two cards here. We've got Buddha, wow, and then we've got the Rajas. Okay, I'm not sure about the Rajas. I need to just refamiliarize myself with that. But in the meantime, I will talk about the Buddha. Now, the Buddha is like the ultimate form of someone who can really embody a state that actually evokes the purest form of compassion. To be Buddha-like in nature is quite difficult. People may aspire to it. I've got a meditative practice, I'm telling you, like I'm way off, like, you know, like I've been meditating so much. To have a Buddha nature, I think is amazing. People who have that sense of compassionate energy and continue to have that regardless of what could happen to them is something so, I think it's almost superhuman. I really do. And that's my own karma, that's my own working through. But it's really interesting. The Raja is dynamic movement, aggression and energy. You're in a place of movement, making the most of each day. You're passionate and excited about the task at hand. That's exactly Page of Wands energy, and are pushing the limits of what you believed possible for yourself. They're needed to bring the desires into action, and you're in the deep development stage. So I think that this Page of Wands really understands like what's going on with these guys. The Page of Wands has got it. Like, the Page of Wands is kind of managing it with these three, with the Two of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles. It's kind of like managing it and just keep on keeping on. But there is some toxicity, big time. And this delay that is occurring with like external events is really kind of bringing up that delay. Is really bringing up that toxicity. What I'm seeing here, like, you know, with this, you've got like some kind of guide. There's a guide that's helping you to like, you know, stay true to the tiger within. Just remember to be restful and just to, you know, sometimes interacting with really toxic personalities. People feel like they can change these personalities, and I'm just like, well, good luck. You know, best thing to do is to retreat, and also make sure that they don't know that you're onto them. That's usually the best way to do it. And yeah, it could be a form of manipulation in that sense, but it also could be viewed as protection. So however you want to view it. It's quite synonymous with the Buddha nature, because in that respect of you not saying anything and not antagonizing a situation to try and defend yourself and understand that these people are not going to be able to see your point of view, then you kind of like maintain that nature like Buddha, right? The story about his death is really interesting, because he renounced everything, and then he became a beggar. He became like that. That's the whole thing about a monk. So what a monk does is renounce themselves completely so that they can dedicate themselves to the spiritual path of enlightenment. So essentially, they will take what they are given. They won't, and they beg. So, and then they will either, work for food and for lodging, or they will beg and they get given. So what happened with Buddha just before he died, he got given some food. And because he didn't have the heart to tell the lady, and he knew it, he didn't have the heart to tell the lady that the food was off. And he ate the food anyway. And that, he was nearing an older age, but that triggered off like that. That's what caused him to kind of be on the road towards his death. So he'd rather not say anything. Now, I mean, it is a bit of a different situation. You've got antagonistic people here that's going on that derive from a toxic thing, a toxic trait. But there's a similar kind of trait here. There's a similar kind of vein here of story where, just appreciating where you are. And that's what I feel is going on here. I feel like you are displaying this kind of Buddha nature, or at least someone, if you're watching this reading and you're looking at this situation, someone that is employing this Buddha nature while they're in quite a toxic situation. And yeah, that's what I see. They're doing very well. They're doing very well within this situation. They're keeping it together as much as they can. Bless them. Bless them. It's very interesting. March the 1st. What a way to start the month. I hope you enjoyed that reading. If you liked it, nice little story. Please do like, subscribe, all that good stuff. But otherwise, my darlings, you take care. I'll speak to you soon and see you tomorrow. Bye.